Yes, welcome to a new episode of Männersache, which means in German man stuff.
Okay.
And today it's a very, very special episode because it's my first in person interview that I'm doing. And yeah, for me it's a very special, special moment because I have my dear brother here, Pedro Collares. And yeah, Pedro Collares is a dear brother of mine. Many of you from my community, you know him. Many of you have been to retreats with Pedro, have done sweat lodges with Pedro, have done other things with Pedro. But many of you also don't know who Pedro is, and one of the intention of this conversation that we're gonna have today, I always like to say it's a conversation. It's not gonna be an interview. I think it's much more relaxed, and we're just gonna free flow. There's no script. And it's get to know. It's get to know Pedro and your wonderful work that I'm very fond with, and I'm very grateful for to be working with you on this journey. Yeah, so maybe tell our community who you are. Who is Pedro Collares?
Hello. Well, my name is Pedro Collares. I'm from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I was born and raised there. Rio is a huge city. I think the big Rio now is like 16 million people, but it has the biggest urban forest in the world. So I was raised in this contrast of like our home was inside the national park in the Tijuca forest, Floresta de Tijuca, and I mean the water from the tap was from the source. There was like 5 minutes walking distance to a river, like clean river, and I could see many times there was snakes at home, like tucanos, monkeys coming and stealing our food, things like that. But then when my mom would grab the car and drive, in 15 minutes I'm in the middle of the cows. So I was raised in this contrast reality of like a huge city and forest at the same time. And when I was 20, I was a bit lost. Like I finished high school and I was kind of, I didn't know what to do by university. I was like really like lost on my life. I didn't know what to do. And so I said, I'm gonna travel. I saved some money. I was working already in Brazil. I saved some money and then I just came to Europe and I decided to stay. I have also like a European family on my lineage somehow, from Italy, from Portugal, and I came to like to search for myself, kind of, you know. And yeah, I arrived in Milan. I was working in these fashion things, and then fashion industry, and then but I didn't like this. Was not fulfilling me as a person, so the work was also not flowing very well. And then one guy said, "Man, you should go to Barcelona. You're gonna like this place. It's a very artistic city." And then I decided to go there, and I fell in love with the city. I only had a remembrance that there was an Olympic Games in Barcelona. That was the only thing I knew from Barcelona. And I arrived there and I was fascinated by the city and the freedom for artistic expressions. And same time, yeah, since a child I've been studying music. This is one of my passions. I think one of my main passions in life is music, and also like meditation, yoga. And so I discovered sound healing, and then I started deepening on that study, on that research for new sounds, new techniques for using sound as a tool to find inner peace and to provide people more wellness, no more well-being. And yeah, and then from there, like I started going to India many times, doing like, I don't know, yoga teacher trainings and like a lot of meditation trainings and many ashrams and many schools, like also music school, Drupal, this classical Indian style, a lot of things. Same way, I started also yeah, getting in touch with these my native roots somehow. Also in my blood lineage, there is a native from Brazil. There is a story that there was this woman. She was caught by the conquerors, and somehow we all have this face a little bit like Indian, like indigenous, and and it's coming from my father's side. And in Brazil, most of the people somehow have some kind of indigenous blood. In yeah, and I started connecting to the sacred medicines from Brazil, from the forest, from the Amazon, and also from the ways of the people from the north, like with the sweat lodge, the inipi ceremonies, and all these. I started getting in touch with that in Barcelona, because Barcelona, a part of the artistic side, the spirituality in these moments, like when I arrived there in 2002, like it was a blossoming, the awakening of collective awakening there somehow. And there was so much offerings for everything, from yoga, meditation, shamanic works, like all kinds of tools to grow as a person. So I was going a lot to these kind of shamanic things. And
So you already had a drive or like an eye or a feeling for spirituality while going to Barcelona. My curiosity would be, was the first time that you had this calling to maybe go from the more physical world into the spiritual? Or was there maybe a certain moment, or did something happen in your life that made you realize that there's so much more than we can see?
yeah, bro, this was, because when I was a child, my mom used to go to this place called, they practice Raja Yoga. It's the yoga of the mind. And it's like basically it's meditation. But it's a school called Brahma Kumaris. Maybe some people have heard about. And they have this very powerful technique of open eye meditation, and with a drawing of like a light dot. It's like just almost closed eye, but you have always a focus there in the BD, like in this dot. And and I I was introduced to meditation through that man, this monk from that Brahma Kumaris that my mom brought home, and he taught me. And when I was in Milan, and when I arrived in Europe, I was in a moment a bit critical, because I had no money and I was alone there, and I was in a situation a bit difficult. And somehow an insight came and said, search for Brahma Kumaris. So I searched, I found, then I went there and I did this meditation. And I explained to her, I'm waiting for this money to arrive from Brazil, but now I have this time and I almost have no cash. And she looked, yeah, we did the meditation, she looked at me and said, everything's gonna be all right. And then when I stepped out of the meditation, I looked into the ground and I found €5. And €5, I mean, was not so much. It's still, this time was a bit more than what is today, but it still was not so much. But it was very symbolic. Like it was, for me, it was a message from the spirit. Like, hey, guy, I'm with you. Like, just trust. And then, wow, it was like, whoa, okay. And then I kept on going, and this helped me also to keep my focus and like to trust, So I think that was when the first click that I did. I felt just like that. Yeah, the spirit showed me, hey, I'm here. Don't worry. You were cared, There is a greater force taking care of you. You can trust. And this gave me a lot of confidence to keep on following my truth, On not just searching for a job that I don't like,
Yeah.
I didn't want that. I wanted to do my passion, That's
And the fashion industry is also an industry which is not that badly paid, right?
Yeah,
Like you were
exactly.
still like feeling that calling to something bigger, or like the passion, are you saying, and following that instead of going the maybe the easy way.
Yeah, for me it was like very superficial, and I didn't like, yeah.
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 Yeah, beautiful. So then you were in Milan, then you went to Barcelona, and you started to play handpan and music.
Yeah, this was the second click, because I already came to Europe bringing a didgeridoo with me that I learned from a friend how to build. I built by bamboo and I had my own didgeridoo. And this instrument also have a strong, yeah, it was very good. It was a very important tool for me to in my path because I started like offering like, hey guys, if you want, I don't know, we can do some exchange. So I come to your yoga class and then in the end I play didgeridoo to the people, and they started paying me for doing sound healing in the end. And but that's when I found the hang drum was the second click because this instrument when I found it it was 2002 or 3, it was a very new thing, like nobody's seen it before. And I was enchanted by this sound. I was like, what is this, like what is it? And then I was already doing some work there in Barcelona, and I collected all my savings, and then I asked some, it was my birthday, my mom gave me some help, my father gave me some help. I collect all my savings and I bought a hang drum. And this time was only 500 euros, but for me in this time 500 euros was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And now this hang drum that I bought I could sell it for 5,000 I think, but I don't want to sell it. But I mean, in this time it was like a lot of money for me. But I said no, I don't mind. I'm gonna spend all my money in this instrument because I love it, you know. And then yeah, I started playing on streets, you know, like busking because I was enjoying myself. I was just okay. I'm gonna just enjoy myself and I make money, you know. If the people like, they will give me money, and that was like for me was something very special when I understood that the money I was making there, it was actually love. Why? Because I was doing what I love. I was doing what I love, and this music was making the people feel good, and they give back the gratitude for this moment in a form of money.
Yeah.
And somehow the love that I was enjoying and expressing and sharing was becoming money, you know.
Yeah.
And
They felt your love, so they paid you with love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, like this money was like, wow, this is this energy, you know, because in the end, money is energy. So this energy was like, wow, it's really nice to receive this energy like this.
Yeah.
You know, not by doing something you don't like, being pissed off, and then getting back. You know.
Yeah, it's a different dynamic.
Yeah.
Very different.
And in the same moment, I was also playing, as I said, in the yoga classes, in yoga retreats. People were hiring me to come and make sound healing, and these doors were opening like this, you know.
And that's where you also met David Lurie, right?
Yeah, David Lurie.
Thanks to David Lurie, I think one of the reasons why we're doing this interview is David Lurie, because he invited you also to play at one festival, and that's where I heard you the first time play. And I was like, wow, who is this guy?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In Barcelona Yoga Conference?
No, it was at the Being Gathering.
Yeah.
A bit later.
Being Gathering,
yeah. Cheers to David, eh? Big hug.
Bro. I met also from the yoga scene. Also, I met Pau and Yari and Izzy, these friends, Mireia, these friends that organized the Barcelona Yoga Conference. And I also had a mantra band, so we started playing on these festivals. And yeah, David invited us to go to Mallorca also, and many other things like Switzerland. We've been touring in Europe, and then it started like opening like with this mantra band. We toured around Europe, like many things started opening.
Which year was that when you started like really feeling, hey, this is opening up, this is like really starting to work now, it's starting to flow?
Yeah, I think it was around 2007, 2008.
Wow.
Yeah, when I was touring in Europe with this band, we were like really like, yeah, it was going very well. And you know, doing what I love, you know, traveling.
Yeah, and the whole Barcelona scene was very vibrant, right?
Yeah.
There was a lot of art, there was a lot of talent, and people who really were had devotion for music and for this kind of work were there, right? It was like kind of a center in the world, maybe even.
Yeah, I think so, though. And also like the mantra singing, like this was something that Yeah, some people are doing, but me and my friends, we started like doing like these mantra circles every week, mantra circles, and then it started like, and I didn't even put a price. I said, this is donation. I don't want to like put a price on it, donation. And it was filling up like, I don't know, 50, 60 people every week, like full power, like full power. And so much abundance coming as well from this love, from
Yeah.
doing what I love,
Yeah.
from sharing
Yeah.
without expectations,
Yeah. Yeah, it's also if you go into the energy into a project where you don't go with this energy, I need to get, but you say, hey, I'm gonna give,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give, and it will come back like
Yeah.
full circle because it's not that scarcity. It's more of this really abundance, love, openness,
Yeah.
and then it turns and it goes and it feels right. I also have similar experiences with our sweat lodges or when we do the
Yeah.
man circle and sweat lodge the other day we had 50
Yeah.
men showing up like that,
Yeah.
and it's always like that. If you don't have big expectations or worries,
Yeah.
things usually flow. Yeah. So tell me more. So then you were in Barcelona. How did you end up in Portugal?
The thing was, I met brother Tiago that you know.
Yeah.
He's another brother that's sharing a very intimate men's circle that we have together with Alex and other friends. And I was in India, and it was, I think, my third time in India. I went to translate like a course in this ashram, Oneness University that I was going. I went as a translator for a group of Spanish people, and then yeah, I stayed there, and then I went to Auroville, which is, I think, is the biggest alternative community in the world. It's like actually it's a city with many communities combined, and it's amazing projects from the vision of this guy Sri Aurobindo, that he wanted to create the critic mass of I don't know how many thousands people in this state of no separation, enlightenment, and then have a global enlightenment. And these gurus that I was going in India had the same goal. I was in this view of like 2012, we're gonna have the global enlightenment. I was fully there. And yeah, and then I met Tiago, and and Tiago looked into my eyes. He said, "Bro, I feel this strong connection with you. You are my brother, and you know what? He's Portuguese. I'm going back to Portugal, and I'm gonna build a new community there. And you're most welcome to come and live there with us." And then he said, there is amazing surf there. And that's why when I was okay, good waves, because I love to surf. It's another passion that I have. And then I said, okay, good waves.
And Barcelona is not so famous for surfing.
Yeah, there are waves, but the Mediterranean is like
Different swell. Yeah.
not so much.
Yeah.
And I was with a girl that she's half Portuguese and half Brazilian. Terra, we were together for 7 years, and now we are good friends. We still work together, and we were like planning to maybe have kids, and then we said, why? Well, let's go and see this place south of Portugal, no? And so we went, and then I arrived in this place. I just fell in love with the coastline. I said, wow, this place is a paradise. I want to live here. And yeah, and I'm here already for 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
9 years. And yeah, time flies. And brother, how was then you were teasing a little bit already about your journey with the plants, with the Lakota tradition. How do you get more onto this path of your roots and of this work?
Yeah, like with the plants, the master plants from Brazil. Well, I had my first experience when I was 18 or 19, before I traveled to Europe, and it was an amazing experience. Amazing.
In Rio.
It was actually in São Paulo. I was very into going to Goa parties in this. I was exploring like also outer states of consciousness, but in a very conscious way always. And I was hearing about this plant. I don't like to say the name.
Yeah.
And then I just had an opportunity. Somebody said there would be this work we call this ceremony, and then I went, and it was during the day, and I just saw my shadow, like the silhouette, como se dice?
Silhouette.
The silhouette of my being as a shadow, and just bright silver light lighting, like just like my shadows being lightened by this plant, and it was like very powerful experience. And then I was many years without encountering with this again, but again in Barcelona I felt the call. Also, when I was going to Brazil, like in this time that I was 10 years in Barcelona, no, I was visiting my family, and then I would go to Santo Daime, to other kind of places to experience that. But it was also in 2012 when I was asked by a friend from Nara and Davy from Brazil, Nara from the group of Guardians Runicuim, Rio de Janeiro, that I belong now. She said, uh, I'm bringing this medicine man, this shaman we call pajé in Brazil, this medicine man to Europe, and would you be on for organizing? And she asked for me and for my ex-partner, and we were actually in this yoga festival in Switzerland, in Geneva, and then we said, okay, let's do it. And then we organized one circle for him in Geneva, one here in Portugal with her network, and one in Barcelona with my network. And he's from the Yawanawa tribe, and this was like, wow, when I encountered this person from the tribe, because I was always drinking this daime, this other kind of Christian-based
With
traditions.
white people,
Yeah.
not indigenous tradition.
Yeah, not indigenous tradition. And then it was like, wow, there is something here. Like, I want to learn from these people. I want to learn the original chants. This is where I want to be in this plant, in this space. And since then, it started opening so much for me, like the opportunities to host them here and to organize circles for them, and just provide the people the opportunity to drink from the source. That's what is important for me. For them to really, like, if okay, you want to see this plant comes from these lands, and it's for thousands and thousands of years from these people. So now they're coming, and it's amazing. It's an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, it's a beautiful work that you're doing, and it's being that bridge, being the bridge between the worlds, between Europe, between Brazil, between the indigenous, between the white mainstream society, and bringing it into Europe, bringing that healing to Europe it's a beautiful work, and it's also a great privilege that we as Westerners have, because I think as you said the other day, it's a very little minority of the population that is able to drink that sacrament. So yeah, I think it's a great honor to be in service in that way. It's a beautiful way to do it, because also what I see in you is, we know each other not now very long, 3 years, I think, 2 years, and I always see that you are always learning. You're still studying, and you call yourself a student, which is beautiful, because I think that's really important when we do this work, right? To keep on learning more and to evolve as a man, as a facilitator, as a student, as a giver.
Yeah. And sorry, just to because you asked also about the traditions from the north, no, the sweat lodge, and this was also, I mean, I also got in contact with that many years ago with different people, but it was also through the plant medicine, because I was facing very toxic masculine patterns of like being aggressive in many ways. I was shouting to my partners and things like that, like really tough stuff. And then the plant told me very clear, I started to see flashes from the sun dance. It's a practice from the Lakota traditions from the north. And I never seen a sun dance before in my life, but the plant showed me. I'm like, whoa, what is this? And she's like, yeah, this is the sun dance. I knew about it, but I never seen. And the plant showed me. And then she said, you want to heal these patterns. You want to start the healing process from that. You have to go there. She was very clear to me like that. And I was like, whoa, okay. If you tell me, I will go. And that's when I went. And that's when I got a little bit deeper in the understanding of this alchemy of working with the elements. Because basically the inipi, the sweat lodge, is learning from the elements, from the water, from the earth, from the air, from the fire. And but as you said, it's a never-ending learning process. Like the one that says that knows everything already started like it's like no, because it's a so profound mystery hidden on the elements that the human mind doesn't have ability to understand this because it's so deep. It's so deep. Every time you start digging more, you see more. It's infinite.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the example that I like to also to say is the onion, no? Peeling the onion or peeling the kachov.
Yeah.
Like it never ends. It never.
Eggplant, peeling the eggplant.
Yeah, not the eggplant. It's the karchov or.
Alcachofre.
Yeah.
I don't know what the name of.
Yeah, this flower that we eat, and then in the center you have the heart.
Yes. Yes.
Or peeling the onion, layers after layers, of like learning and unlearning. Because many times I see myself that I learned something and I got stuck. This should be like this.
Yeah.
And then the life itself starts showing me, no, be flexible. Like, be flexible. You don't have to be so strict.
No.
There are other ways also. And doesn't mean this is the only way, this is the only correct way.
Yeah.
Like if you do this way, maybe it's also correct.
Yeah. No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful what you say, and it's important also. Something that you taught me and showed me was it's also not important to tell other people about all these rituals, because I had the thing of this egoic that I still have sometimes of like, I did this, I went there, I went to India, I went to South America, I went to Bali, I drank ayahuasca, I did this, and when once you told me, Alex, you're doing this for you. You're doing this for yourself. You're doing the vision quest for yourself. You're not doing this to show others that you're doing a vision quest. And the same is also, that's what I also want to say to my community. All these rituals, if it's meant to be, they will come to you. There will be a moment in your life where you have an opportunity and they will show up. You will not have to search for them, like force and try to get them. And then you will see they will naturally arrive and you will have the opportunity to do them. And once you do them, enjoy them. Because it's not about showing others, hey, how great I am or what I did. It's really all about the experience that we have with it. And it's a constant reminder also for myself, Every time we're doing our retreats, we're doing our rituals, we're doing it for ourselves firstly, right? And of course for our ancestors and for our families and for our loved ones. But this is a topic that at the moment is very controversial in Germany, and because there's been a lot of people now filming during ceremonies, and really while they're drinking, while they're taking rapé, while they're doing whatever they're doing, and they put it online, they put it on Instagram, they put it. They write on Instagram, shaman, I'm a medicine woman, I'm a this, I'm a that, and at the moment I feel there's so much ego in entering into the space that I am a little bit worried about what this is taking, because I feel like that we're entering now into an era where it's getting more and more into the mainstream. So I don't know what your opinion is about that, about all these filmings, about all this showing. Yeah, that would really, I would really like to hear your view on this thing of social media and
Yeah, honestly, I'm also very worried. It's not only in Germany, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It became fashion, you know, to be a shaman. To be. First, it was yoga, you know, like everybody was a yogi. Now everybody's a shaman. It's just like, it's a bit like it became too much mainstream. But somehow I trust that the spirit is doing this for a reason, you know. I trust this, but I'm the one always like the boring guy that is calling the attention of many people. What are you doing? Why do you have to expose it this way? I'm very this person. I've been calling attention of many people. Like, be careful though. Take care though. You don't need to expose like this. Like, take care of it because it's a jewel. It's something very precious, you know. That, and also, yeah, I trust so much the the wisdom of this medicine that I know of not only this medicine. There are so many others, no, the plant medicines itself, that I know that the bill will come. Like, like the people that misuse it, the people that don't respect it, somehow somehow it's law of karma though. It's law of karma and it's law of physics. When I hit a wall, the wall hit me with the same intensity in opposite direction. Like, what I plant now is what I'm gonna harvest in the future, you know. So if, I don't know, I think if people are making this something commercial, I don't know. I cannot say what will happen, but yeah, I just what I try to is just to respect as much as possible. Is just to try to empower as much the original keepers of the original wisdom. Not treat these as just a substance, you know. Because many people, it's just one more substance to get high, to have an experience, and it's not. It's a spirit. There is a spirit there, though. Even if science still cannot understand the spirit of these plants, there is a spirit there, and the people that saw it know it. So, yeah, it's very tricky. It's very tricky, but I trust. I just trust.
Yeah, I think it's good also to have, like, we don't have to be extremists. We don't have to hide it all away.
Of course.
But also not going to the other extreme, like, you know, film yourselves in the ceremony while you drink and make a selfie before you go into the temple, or, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's there's some good limits in between those two
Exactly.
extremes.
Find a balance. We are talking about this now, you know, this is gonna be on the web and it's fine. So I think it's also important that people also get
Some
information
education as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, brother, there's as I said, there's a lot of people. They're calling themselves shaman, medicine woman, medicine man. You've been called many times shaman by men that've been to your ceremonies, and you always tell them the same answer that I heard. What would really interest me is, what is for you a page? What does it really mean to be a page? Because I think a lot of people, also including my community, they don't have any idea about what a page really is. They just see, hey, this is someone who's serving the medicine, maybe, you know, and then he's automatically an elder or a page or a shaman, and maybe you can give some clarity to that would I think really be a value for the audience.
Yeah, so first thing, shaman, this word comes from Siberia. These are the medicine men from Siberia, the man that I mean, they heal the people through their prayers with the drum, and through talking with the elements, through talking with the, you know, with the forces of natures, calling the spirit natures, you know. And these shamans, I mean, these people, they since they are born, they are educated to be a shaman, you know. Same with the pajé from the Amazon, or with the maracame from Mexico. You know, the maracame is from the hikuri tradition, peyote. You know,
Yeah.
it's like these people, they commit their life completely for that.
And
And
sometimes they're not even they're in a lineage, right? So it's like the son
exactly.
and the father's being and the grandfather.
Exactly, it comes like in the Amazon, like I mean, it comes from the lineage. Like the father was already a pajé, the grandfather and grandmother like this, and since the baby is conceived already, they know this guy is gonna be a pajé, and since the belly, the mother is preparing the birth, the rituals of preparation, and then committing the life to this, you know. And I mean, just to clarify, this word pajé in the jungle, pajé is the elder, like the medicine man that is already an elder, that is the living library, is the guy that have all the wisdom from these people, because they don't write. The wisdom is passed by word. So this guy, through the stories that he's carrying, that he's sharing how to live, how is their way of living, how to build the maloca, how to build the bow and arrow, how to everything, you know. And these people, yeah, they dedicate their lives for this. And I mean, it's so mysterious. It's so profound. Like all what they have to know for performing healing, because the pajé is the healer. There is no doctor in the forest. In the past, no, there
Yeah.
was no doctors. So if I'm sick, I go to the pajé. I say, hey, I'm sick. The pajé would drink the medicine. When the medicine is working, he will be able to see what is there. Because if I have something physical, for them there is something spiritual behind. There is an energy that is making somatizing this in your body. So in the spiritual level, he's able to blow it out, you know. But this is something, though. This is something, like I say, yeah, it's I see many people playing the shaman, you know, just like step back though, you know, like I mean, it's very serious. And then you start blowing people, then these energies may come to you, and you don't know how to defend yourself after, how to clean yourself, because you're not prepared for that, you know. So that's why I try to empower them, to empower the indigenous people like that. Okay, let's them do the work, you know. Let's Yeah, and I try to learn from them, but then, as you said, I'm only a student, and for me, like the real, the man shaman, the man medicine man, the man pajé is the medicine itself, is the element itself, the fire, you know, the fire itself, the water itself, the wind, the earth. These are the masters, the main masters, you know. And yeah, as I've already said, we'll never be able to learn everything about them, because it's so profound, you know.
Yeah. No. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the explanation. Maybe changing topic now,
Yeah.
driving a little bit more to the men's work, because we do men's work together, so we mix the two worlds of all this ancestral, elemental with the part of the masculinity, which in the end is not a mix because it's always been together anyway, right? Men have been always meeting at special dates for ceremony, for rituals, and if I'm around a fire before a nipi, like we were at the last retreat when we were listening to that share of Eric, I felt like this moment was eternal, was immortal. I felt my soul was like, wow, I've been here. This is a remembrance. This is like yeah. I feel like this is a and this is so. My question to you is, when came the time for you to say, hey, I want to dive into this work of being with men, of working with men, of coming together with men? Maybe we can start a little bit earlier. How was your childhood? How was your relationship with your role model, with your father, today or in the past?
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, I have a luck to still have my father alive. I don't see him much because he's in Brazil, but yeah, I can say he was an amazing father. He's an amazing father. He was bringing to many adventures, to sail, to dive, to the mountains, to the waterfall, to the nature. Like it's been like a father that was bringing me to many adventures. So yeah, of course I have some traumas with him, like I think everybody.
We all have.
Yeah, and but I've been working on them. Of course, as the onion never ends peeling, but yeah, I think I was a very lucky child, and of course I had a lot of drama with the divorce and fights from my dad, my parents. Yeah, this was strong. But but I now had so much this space of like talking with my dad about men stuff. Like there was all these adventures, but like talking about sexuality.
So it was more like he was maybe showing his affection through like bringing you adventures and activities, but not like going deeper emotionally, like in conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no, I felt he's always like a rock, very like.
Maybe I think it has to do also with the love language, right? Some people, some men or some fathers, they show their affection through this, right?
Yeah.
And they're not able
Yeah.
to open up in that way because they're not used to. Maybe his father also was not.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, and for sure he was a better version. And now, as a father, I try to be a better version. But yeah, but yeah, like I never had these spaces of like sharing and like talking about the taboos and things like that. People don't talk. Yeah, and what happened was that there was this boom of women's circle, like I don't know, maybe 10 years, not yeah, around 10 years ago, 8 years ago. Like my partner, she was going to these women's circles,
Yeah.
and then was also with Tiago that I already said about him. I looked to Tiago, I said, "Come on, man. Our partners are always doing this women's circle. Let's do our men's circle." You know, this was very spontaneous. Like, I was already seeing some stuff on the web, like men's work, but I never had seen an invitation like men's circle here in the area. There was nothing, you know. So let's do ourselves, you know. And then we created this kind of retreat we call Young Gathering, and we were making flyers, putting posters on the city, putting a Facebook event. There was no Instagram, and yeah, and nowadays this circle, for example, it's like totally off grid. Like we don't talk about it on the web. It's
No ads.
just friends inviting friends, like very inner. But then when you invited me, this was very beautiful because I felt this compliment, no, of like, yeah, you playing this role of like really like putting the guys to go to the emotions, no, you know, to really like emotional releases and these the ice bath, all the work you do, it's so powerful and it's so masculine somehow, you know. And then I bring more this native and this, which also can, like the sweat lodge can be really like masculine as well. And in the medicine, some people say it's the mother. Yeah, but still it's also masculine, you know. And I think it's very complementary, and for me, I feel really fulfilled, like by doing this work with you, like really, because I see the feedbacks and I read the feedbacks and I hear the feedbacks, and I've been meeting the brothers, no, like last weekend we had a ceremony. We were 5 brothers from the retreat there, and we were like just like looking at each other and smiling, like, yeah, man, we are together, you know, just this brotherhood that we build, you know, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful project that we built together now. We had now 3 retreats, well 4 even.
Yeah.
You were there since the beginning, and I had the idea to do a retreat, and then Pedro asked me, hey, do you want to do it together? And I was like, yeah, let's do it together.
Cool.
And this time we had our biggest group, we had a big team.
Yeah,
and it was just beautiful to have this work together with a team, you know, and we could really focus on the facilitation. Everyone was well kept. There was, as soon as someone was struggling, someone of the team was there, and it was really, really beautifully organized. And I'm super grateful that we have this co-creation, bro. You're true inspiration for my path as well, and I'm also learning a lot with Pedro, because you are also strict, but you are also very laid back. You know, you also have that side that is like, yeah, but you know, relax. And I think that's why we combine so well,
Exactly,
because
yeah.
we have both sides. I also have that very strict side,
Yeah.
but then I also have a side which is more like my father. Let's go and relax. You know, we
Yeah.
can do this. You know, we can trust.
Yeah.
And that's why it's working well together. And also, of course, there's a deep respect. I feel, and if there is respect, there's love and there is acceptance.
Yeah, I think this work is so important though,
Yeah.
because we as men, like we are taught to be strong. Men don't cry. Men are strong, and we never have the space to show our vulnerability, you know. And when we build that circle of trust, that we really can go dive deep and we mirror each other, no, it's just like, wow, like I see the deep process of this guy, I see myself there, and also on through his process I'm healing myself already, you know. And so it's this collective healing of the masculine, and like really allowing like to express though. Like we are so suppressed in the society, we have to be tight, we have to hold on, we have to no, like
Yeah.
there we build that safe space for no, this is so beautiful, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but it's what you say. It's so important. It's so important to have that space. You know, to have the space where we are not performing,
Yeah.
where we are not competing, where we're not
Exactly.
trying to impress. Just yesterday, I was in a meeting, in a political meeting, and you know all the masks that people are wearing for hours and days and years, and a lot of men, they have no idea that there is a place where you can simply be yourself. You know, where you can simply be yourself, and you can be someone who is crying, you can be someone who's laughing, you can be someone who's just shouting. And it's okay. And it's okay to let it out. It's okay to express, and it's okay to show vulnerability, to shed tears, and also it's okay to get angry, because I see also a lot of men who are totally scared, and they put that down. Something that I express too much. A lot of men, they do it too less, and then you get sick as well.
Yes.
So the energy gets stuck.
Yes.
So we build these spaces for men who really have the ability to express themselves.
Yeah, to dance freely, like, and not feeling ridiculous, for
Yes.
example. No.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah, to just be, just like the little boy.
Exactly.
Like the little boy that we all have inside of us, but a lot of us, we've been neglecting that little boy. All right, brother, I think we can wrap it up. I just have one final question for you, and if you would meet your younger Pedro, your younger boy, and you would have 3 advices to give him, what would you give him? What would be those advices for your younger boy, younger Pedro?
Good question. Okay. Yeah, I would say, yeah, don't worry. It's gonna be alright. You're gonna find your mission, your dharma, what you came here for. This is one. And second one, I would say, yeah, keep being yourself. keep playing music, keep annoying people with your music, because I was annoying my family playing with the fork on the glass and things like stop, no, keep doing it, because you're gonna be a musician and you're gonna give a lot of peace and joy to the people with that. And the third, maybe, yeah, take more good care of your teeth. Because my parents somehow they were not like strict with that, and I faced a lot of troubles with the teeth. And now with my son, every day I'm like, you're gonna brush your teeth 3 times a day, bro.
Well,
and yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, bro.
Yeah.
Gratidão.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, community, for listening until the end, watching until the end, and see you guys in the next episode. Much love.
Love.
Cara, não